Hello, and welcome to another 3131. I'm very happy to continue on. But let's get into Lift Your Spirits. And start. Alone on a Friday night, and I'm spending it here. My fingers are sluggish as they typed out the last bit of conclusion needed to finish my off paper. I didn't even bother spell check the rest, my hand dragging the cursor across to close the document. Alright, time to submit it. Typed out my regards to Mr. Holtman. I kindly find the attached file in the assignment. Your student, Mars. Stifling a yawn, I turned on my phone to check the time. 2:53 a.m. The universal experience of losing sleep and gaining eye bags as a college student came to grace me in its hold once again, it seems. At least it's the weekend. Turning off the computer, it suddenly hit me how quiet it is without my fingers tapping away at the keyboard. Everyone else had left. The campus was open 24/7, but who else was dumb enough to push their luck to submitting their assignment this late? I considered myself lucky Mr. Holtman gave me the extended deadline, otherwise I'd be screwed. Still, there was also the rumors. Disembodied voices echoing through empty rooms. Heavy footsteps shuffling down the halls. Those who were lucky claimed to see a black silhouette sulking around at the vending machine at the end of the corridor, staring at them. Do we see any, alright, not yet. We don't see any figures in these dark-ass corners yet. I wasn't the superstitious type, but I had to admit that the eerie silence of being the only person here gave me the creeps. I was recalling all the gossip spread around the student body when the sound made me perk up. I glanced behind me over to the monitors to see if anyone had come in. ... Nobody. I ignored the goosebumps rising on my arms as I gathered up my items to the bed. Superstitious or no, I have done what I came here for. Time to go. Shambled to the elevators and tapped the button. It rumbled to life, slowly making its way up to my floor. Just a couple more minutes and I'm out of here, I assured myself. I don't know why, but I found myself constantly checking behind me as if expecting someone there. Yet it's always empty every time I look. Tap the button some more. ... Guys, hear me out. This is just, what's it called? Elevator hitch, but different art style. The hairs on the back of my neck stood as if I was being watched. Where are the footsteps? I don't like auditory horror. Auditory horror is the worst horror. Auditory horror is the worst horror. What is this? Oh, I should have clicked. I clenched my fists, ignoring how sweaty they felt in my pockets. Is there someone behind me? Jesus. I jumped. The door slid open as I released the breath I didn't realize I was holding. That looks like the like the elevator hitch background, bro. I didn't even consider looking back as I stepped inside, refusing to turn around until the doors closed. This just is the elevator hitch thing. Sorry, my pause there was the fact that it just looks like elevator hitch. The chipper background music that they played calmed me down somewhat. I'm almost in disbelief they were still playing it at this hour. Almost. Pressed the button for the ground floor and the elevator moving with a small jolt. With nothing to do but wait, I stared at the numbers slowly descending. The lull of the elevator was starting to make me sleepy. Thought of the things I could do once I got home, just to distract myself for the rest of the ride. Shower for sure, microwave dinner probably. Maybe... Hello? I blinked at the flickering lights. Oh, the elevator shuddered and came to an abrupt halt. The music cut out. Tried the button once more. Unresponsive. Pushing the intercom button gave me nothing but static. Never push the intercom button because it gets you killed! Hello? No. This can't be happening. Taking a moment to compose myself, I called out. Is anyone there? I'm stuck in here. Help! I started slamming the doors as panic took hold. There had to be someone out there. Help! Please! I'm in here! I didn't stop for a good minute, getting more and more desperate as tears welled up in my eyes. Why? Why now? Why me? I knocked my forehead against the door in a slump, ready to curl up and cry. This sucks. I was about to turn before I felt a chill run up my spine. The air felt heavy. Is this claustrophobia setting in? I didn't think I had a fear of closed spaces, unless there was a raspy moan from behind me. I turned my head and screamed. Oh boy. Across me was a growing blotch of darkness, an oozing mass that seemed to melt through the walls. I scrambled away, my back flat against the doors. Oh, Jesus. A hand emerged from the writhing form, grasping at its edges. Foul-smelling black I don't know what the hell that is, dripped from its fingers. Oh, Jesus. Another arm followed suit, clinging to the other side. Hello! I couldn't look away. Oh, hello! I couldn't find my voice to scream. Hello! Nice to meet you! The face took shape. Oh, Jesus. A pair of hollow eyes and a manic grin with several teeth. It seemed to smile directly at me. Oh, God. I blacked out. Wake up. Hey! I heard a voice, panicked and flustered above me. Whoa. A person was looming over me, visibly worried as I blinked out to the consciousness. Huh. She's very pretty. Well, they are very pretty. You're alive. I couldn't really check for a pulse, so anyway, you alright? Well, okay, that's rude. Jesus. Phew. I'm glad. Didn't mean to scare you back there. Realized I was still in the elevator, but now with a stranger twiddled their thumbs in front of me. Sorry about the Discord notification. They were taller than me, looming a good few inches past my head. Their limbs looked even more awkward in the baggy sweater they had. I wasn't sure if they forgot to wash away their makeup, or if they just slept for 3 days straight. Or if they haven't slept for 3 days straight. Probably both. I realized they were staring at me as well. Their eyes focused on me a little too long, as if they'd forgotten how to blink. So, I suddenly remembered the last thing I saw. That creepy shadow from the walls. But before you were here, there was something crawling out of the walls. I know it sounds insane, but I swear, it looked straight out of a horror movie. The stranger looked nervous. Crap, they must think I'm nuts. Don't look at me like that. No, I believe you, for sure. You saw it too? Well, sort of. Sorry. I was really trying to be sneaky. That must have been uncomfortable to watch, huh? Come again? What are you saying? Well, I heard you yelling for help and I couldn't just leave you alone, so I did the next best thing I could. Are you saying that was you? What kind of sick joke is this? Well, if they look like that normally, I feel like we'd be nice. Yes, in a way. There's really no easy way to say this. I'm not alive. Not the way you are. Did they mean... You mean like a ghost? The stranger lit up appreciatively. Basically, you must have heard of the rumors, right? Well, it's me, in the flesh. Well, sans the flesh. What? Stick your hand through them? My hand shot out before I could think twice. What? The tips of the fingers instantly felt airy and ice cold. It was like touching something solid, yet not. The stranger yelped and backed away. Hey! Do you just go around sticking your fingers into people you just met? Sorry, I thought you were messing with me. The stranger was having none of it. Ugh, why do I even bother? If you sit tight and don't do anything stupid, they'll come find you in the morning. Oh, fuck. They shift into a familiar black shapeless entity, melting into the puddle, disappearing into the black floor. Exactly the same way they had entered. Well, I found myself alone for the next 7 hours. The roost found me half dozing in the corner the next morning. I stayed late most nights on campus to see if the stranger would show up, but it seems that you're ignoring me on purpose. I never saw them again. Bad ending, rude awakening. Well, Jesus, sorry. Okay, so this time we're gonna say that we believe them. I feel like this isn't the worst situation to be meeting a ghost for the first time. Stranger gave a sigh of relief. Thank you for trusting me. I'd like to ask for your name, but I already know it. It's Mars. How did you... I've been watching you for a while. Excuse me? Tonight! I've been watching for a while tonight. It's not safe to be alone this late. I would know. Before I could ask any further, they straightened. Anyways, I stuck around to see if you would write your paper. I don't necessarily agree with your hypothesis, but interesting nonetheless. I gave her a voice for a moment. I don't know if you caught it there, but I gave her a voice where it's like, hi. Like, that's just the vibe I get. Thanks, I think. Yeah, we're not gonna be pissy. They gave a shy, they gave a shy smile. No problem. This wasn't the way I expected my night to go, but I guess the sooner I accepted it, the better. I should probably ask for her name instead of calling them a stranger. You know my name, but what about yours? Oh. They looked away, fingers picking at their sleeve. I don't remember. I know who I was and what I did when I was alive, but not my name. Strange, isn't it? Well, have you ever thought of picking one yourself? Their eyes widened as if the thought never occurred to them. I never needed a name, but if I were to have one, I've always liked the name Alma, the way Alma sounds. It's perfect. Her smile widened. So I guess we have to just be nice or else we'll get the bad ending part 2. Well, 1, 2, you know what I mean. Thank you, Mars. I went back to twiddling their fingers. We stood in silence for a while, gouging on what to say next. I kept glancing back at their hands, wondering if they feel as solid as they looked. They knew I was staring, but they didn't seem to mind, waiting patiently in front of me. My thoughts were running wild from sleep deprivation and shock to actually form words past our introductions, to be honest. They started humming softly as if to fill the silence. That's when it hit me. For a ghost, they could easily be a student just like me. I have to ask, did you, I'm at a knowing look in their eyes. Oh man, it's honestly kind of embarrassing. Oh no. Insist? Alright. Despite having no blood flowing through their veins, their cheeks seemed to darken. We don't have to get into it. But I really want to know, please? They hesitated before nodding. Promise you won't make fun of me? Promise. Okay. So, I was staying late working on an assignment, just like you. No one was around. Even back then I was known to be a loner most of the time. It didn't bother me. While I was working, I got thirsty. No big deal. So I was headed over to the vending machine for a drink. They paused, hands shaking. They clasped at their wrist and twisted before continuing. Just a soda. Not too much to ask, right? I paid for the damn thing, but somehow my hand got stuck in the dispenser. So I pulled, and, well, they struggled a bit before I waved at them for them to continue. It fell. I felt my whole body being crushed under the weight. I couldn't even cry out for help. And the whole time my hand was still stuck on the thing. Not that I could even tell. I think my wrist was beyond saving at that point. Wait, they sunk into themselves. I died trying to get a cheap soda. How pathetic is that? I'm sorry. It's not. I'm sorry for what happened to you. It kind of sounds like you deserved it. No. I put my hand over theirs. It passed right through, giving a nice cold chill at my fingertips, but almost seemed to appreciate it nevertheless. They looked up at me, their nervous hands finally coming to a stop. I've never told anyone about it before. I didn't think it would feel this freeing. Thank you. You know, I think you're a really good person. I want to help you get out of here. I tilted my head. How are you going to do that? I can try some things. That is, if you trust me. Yes. Trust Alma. They clapped their hands excitedly. Okay, here we go. You might want to hold on to something. Before I could ask any further, the elevator began to drop. My heart plunged into my throat as the weight shifted upwards. Alma? Hang on! Let me focus. The buttons for each floor flashed beside me. Oh god, I closed my eyes shut and decided to trust them. It felt like a roller coaster heading straight to the ground. The air whizzed around me. I grit my teeth and clenched my hand, knuckles probably white as if I bothered to look. And just like it stopped. I helped as the elevator jolted. I landed on my ass with a smack. I blinked my eyes open to see Alma clapping excitedly. They looked over at me on the floor and gestured towards the doors. They creaked open, as if manually pulled apart by an unseen force. My jaw dropped as I realized they really did bring me to the ground floor. You really did it! I did! I never got to do that before! I couldn't believe my eyes. I stood and threw my arms around Alma, only to completely pass through them. They yelped and backed away into the wall. Give a signal before you do that. I don't appreciate feeling hands inside of me. It's gross. Sorry. I gathered myself and stepped through the doors, Alma following suit. Sure enough, the lobby was empty, the clock on the wall indicating it was close to 4 a.m. now. Jesus! Well, I guess this is it. I turned to see them trying hard not to reach for their hands, fingers twitching to intertwine with one another. It all happened so fast. It sunk in that now I could leave and go home, right now if I wanted to. Alma, thank you. I appreciate it. They nodded understandingly. I stood there for a moment as they looked at me before averting their eyes. They were waiting for me to leave. I grasped my phone inside my pocket, mustering the courage to ask for what I was about to ask. Would you ever want to hang out again? They did a double take. Huh? Would you want to... Yes! But why would you want to? Why wouldn't I? I like you. Once again, their cheeks darkened despite them. Oh, that's so cute. Besides being them, I like you too. Yeah, I'd love to hang out again. Preferably when I'm, not stuck and helpless in an elevator. My heart skipped a beat as they laughed lightheartedly. Preferably, of course. I'll see you next week? Yes. Don't worry about a time or place. I can always find you wherever you are in the building. Kind of unsettling, but okay. Stay safe, Mars. I waved I waved and headed towards the entrance, pulling my phone out to call the driver from one of my apps. When I turned to look back, Alma was already gone. Good ending, friends for life, or more. Oh, okay. So, what if we did a little bit of both? Are they just gonna... So if we do a little bit of both, if we did a little bit of both, if we did a little bit of both, wait. Oh, I did that wrong. Back down is what we chose. I guess I don't have to tell you what you want to tell you then. That's alright. I heaved a sigh and moved to sit down, leaning against the doors. Alma looked on curiously. What are you doing? I shrugged and took out my phone to look at the time for a time-wasting app. In no time, I had one of my mindless games open. Might as well get settled in and spend the next few hours trying to beat my high score. Not much I can do right now. Got some battery to last a couple hours. I pat down the spot next to me. You want to watch? Alma stood for a moment, as if unsure. Come on, plenty of room for us both. Just watch your legs, Lanky. Huh. I settled in beside me, sitting crisscross applesauce, and leaned over to look at my phone. My shoulder immediately chilled at their close proximity, but I didn't bother bringing it up. We chatted amicably as my fingers tapped away at my screen. Alma getting more invested in the higher numbers I got. Oh, Jesus. But otherwise, it was a peaceful company. A few hours passed. I must have dozed off at some point. As the next thing I knew, there was some whirling behind me, and that woke me up with a jolt. Voices began to call out, and I turned to see workers prying the doors open for me. It took no time for them to step inside when their work was done. Over me made it feel like everything that happened last night was a dream. I turned on my phone to look at the time. Instead, I saw an unsent message typed out onto the screen. Be safe. Careful about staying late next time. I blinked and looked around. A cold chill went up my arm and I almost turned to expect Alma, but saw nothing. Next time? Put my phone away and rubbed my bleary eyes, mentally making a note to stay back at the campus more frequently from now on. Good ending. Till next time. Okay. This was really nice and short. I think that's what I really liked about it most, because most of the games I have, it's all, at least 1 hour of gameplay. But, this was short and sweet. I had fun. So, that was Lift Your Spirits for 3131. This is this is a nice break, honestly, from the much longer we've had to do. So, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will see you next time.